Countdown. Hello, how are you today? I feel like making a video, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I want to focus on three of the people that really has me mad right now at the moment. The three politicians that's probably making me more angry than anybody else at the moment. So hold on here. Give me a second. And so I'm going to start off with Kyrsten Sinema because she is the latest to be talked about. With what's been going on with the minimum wage vote, and earlier this year, and the everything going into reconciliation for the Build Back Better Act, and how much she's been an obstacle to progress. And you remember the incident where she was followed into the restroom at Arizona State University, and you have Fox News people defending her on the right because she's doing what Republicans like their fellow Republicans to do, and they're always glad when a Democrat's doing it too, and that is being an obstacle to social progress. And of course, so you got that from the right. You got the right defending her, but you also got silly corporate Democrats that are defending her on shallow things like identity politics. It's great that she's bisexual. That's cool. I mean, that is cool. But if you're bisexual, you're straight, you're lesbian, I don't care. If you're voting badly on policy, I don't give a damn what your sexual orientation is going to be, one way or the other. But right now, this past weekend, she was officiating a wedding, and I want you to see for yourself. So hold tight and give me a second here, and I'll explain.
Betrays us all. Cinema sucks. Cinema Trump in a tutu. Trump in a tutu. It's a wedding. Trump in a tutu. It's a wedding.
Hi, thanks for ruining my wedding. I really appreciate it.
You know what? She's ruining our life. I'm sorry.
It's just my wedding.
I know.
Who cares?
Well, I really wish I could enjoy my wedding without you ruining it.
I know you do.
Uh-huh. This is pretty awesome.
Shame. Could you just go down to the choir for an hour? How about it's my daughter's wedding? For an hour. Just let her get married, please. It's
This person is not my daughter. My daughter's getting married.
You should have chosen somebody other than Kyrsten Sinema to officiate the wedding.
I don't know. Listen,
We don't like what you're doing to our country.
How would you invite this?
Based.
You know what? Tell her.
Totally corrupted the whole country.
Tell her.
I don't disagree with any of you people when your point of view and your rights. It's my daughter's wedding.
So throw her out.
Please just go down to the corner for 1 hour. Please. It's my daughter's wedding.
Just get somebody to officiate the wedding that's not going to be an asshole Karen like Kyrsten Sinema.
She's not my friend. She's not my guest.
We'll leave if
Can I just make a compromise? We're protesting cinema. We're not protesting this bride. Let's just shut our mouths now. Let the ceremony begin. We can walk quietly with our signs. It's my daughter.
I know.
Okay.
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Be quiet.
They have a right to protest. Stop talking to them. Don't let her go back in and play with her millionaires.
I mean,
I fought for your fucking right to protest.
thank you.
So you go back inside. So you're a millionaire, buddy.
To all the right wingers, this is the First Amendment at work, okay? I'm only sorry I couldn't have been in Arizona to do this. I would have engaged in this, even though it's kind of not my nature to do so. This looks fun. I'm there in spirit.
Hey, stop cheering and throw Cinnamon out! She's a corporate shill!
Corporate
Throw her
shill.
out of that place! Come on now, our future's at stake! Everything's on the line! And you're letting this woman get away with it! Yeehaw!
I love this video.
I'm tired of this shit!
We need more of this.
Stop taking corporate money! Total corruption of our government! Total sellout! Totally unacceptable! Totally unacceptable for you to support it! Yeah, keep laughing! Keep laughing! I'm an Ivy League educated white old man, and I'm being destroyed by this economy. And that corruption stems from corporate power. And Cinema is taking corporate money to destroy us all. And climate will do it without her. So wake up! Woo! Why don't you get married to Donald Trump? Yeah!
No, because they were on the other side of the fence. Okay.
Okay, we're on the other side.
How you guys doing?
We're good.
Good?
Yeah.
Did you get water today?
No, God.
just cared about our voters.
I made sure to hydrate up beforehand. All
I
right.
had one drink before we came.
Okay.
Okay, but thanks. Care about our
Whew. Okay. Now that's what I call the First Amendment being exercised. I know that the right wing will be like, well, this is what the liberals do. They go and harass politicians and don't follow a party line. For many years, a lot of Democrats have been taking advantage of their base. And so it's time for some of that base, because the Democratic base, they're good people. It's the elected Democrats that are not good people. So I am glad to see this. We need more of this. This is the First Amendment at work right here. And I mean, to me, that was just absolutely beautiful. So as for the lady, part of me, her daughter getting married, part of me says there's a little empathy about that. But you know what? She could have used somebody else to officiate the wedding. Maybe somebody that's not going to go and fuck over the American people by taking $750,000 from the big pharma. So, the more I think about it, maybe the less sorry I feel for this lady and her daughter who's getting married. They should have better judgment of whom they associate with, and this sort of thing wouldn't have to happen. So anyway, let's see. That's part one right there. And we're going to go with a blast of the past this time, second round. And we're going to talk about Joe Manchin. And hold tight right here. Give me a moment. All right. Okay. And we're going to talk about Joe Manchin. And this was during the Kavanaugh hearings and all of that. And again, activism at work. Because, Brett Kavanaugh, the man who wrote the language behind the Patriot Act that turned this country on its way to a totalitarian state that we are today because of his actions, or people like Brett Kavanaugh, who is unfit to serve in the Supreme Court. Well, guess what? I want you to watch this, and love seeing people from Fox get triggered,
People are looking at Joe Manchin, and Joe Manchin was leaving the Senate, and he was confronted by a protester. Watch this.
Fuck Joe Manchin.
As a survivor, I don't understand how you can't look me in the eye. Why are you going to vote yes on this? Can you tell me how you're going to vote? Well, how are you not listening to us as survivors? Are you? You're going to get in this elevator? How are you going to vote? Tell me. Tell me.
Step back.
Yeah, finally there's a little bit of security, but just the screaming in the face, it's getting old. And just let the guy do his job, let the woman do his job. I don't care how they're going to vote.
Fuck
you.
you.
Start treating people with respect. Joe Manchin, I think, has treated that protester with respect, but the screaming and the shrieking, I would hope would stop soon. I would say this.
Screaming and shrieking?
Both Flake and Collins have said, I think that's important, because they looked at the multi-page report, and they said, you talk to people involved with Ramirez, that's the New Yorker article. You talk to people involved with Kavanaugh and Dr. Ford, that was the testimony, and there's been no cooperation. So it seems as though all the boxes have been checked for Flake, but who knows? One thing's interesting that's happening with Montana.
Yeah, this is great, because think about this. There are 100 senators. Many of them have plans on the weekends. What's the one thing that would deter you from being in Washington for the big vote?
I feel like it's either a funeral or a wedding.
Okay. You're right on the money. Because Senator Steve Daines from Montana, his daughter's getting married, and he said there are two things I plan on doing this weekend: walking my daughter down the aisle, and he wants to see a new U.S. Supreme Court justice put on the court.
So based on our timeline, the vote is supposed to happen on Saturday night, just about the time that he might be walking her down the aisle or at a wedding reception.
So I hope someone has a private plane.
The thought is that they may not need his vote, and you got to believe that if they did need his vote, as you said, Brian, they would hold the vote open long enough, which I believe Senate procedure allows, so that he could come back and cast it.
Brett Kavanaugh, and he spoke yesterday, and he said, I want to be sure with you, you're my guy. I'm going to pick you. I'll be there for you, just not right away. So if it is 49, and Pence is coming to break it, Daines will be on his way on Sunday. We'll see if it goes to that, because the final tally does matter. Remember, 52-48 was Justice Thomas, and that was the closest margin.
Okay. Well, here we go. Fox News defending Brett Kavanaugh. And of course, defending a Democrat like Joe Manchin. All the more reason it was great to get in his face and really, considering that that asshole Brett Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court just inching us a little closer toward authoritarianism. And those people on Fox and Friends, they're just so, I'm sure they were just so happy with the authoritarianism that can be expanded, because these people love right-wing authoritarianism. They love Republican authoritarianism. This is what they want. They want to make sure that for the next 30 or 40 years, all these court seats being stacked during the Trump presidency would be an obstacle to all kinds of progress. This is why we need to either expand the courts right now under Biden or have term limits for court justices. I think term limits are a little more doable. It's a little more palatable with the American people. I think it would have bipartisan support. So I would favor that probably more than stacking the courts. And there's a part of me that says, what if we stack the courts now, what happens when we get Tom Cotton or Ted Cruz in the White House or Ron DeSantis? We'll probably have 100 years of authoritarianism under those motherfuckers. So I would say right now, personally, I would say let's do something doable like term limits right now while we have a chance, because we know Republicans are not going to do term limits if there's a Republican presidency and a very likely Republican Congress in the near future. So well, let's keep it going. And I don't want to sound like I'm being too partisan, to any conservative onlookers, well, actually to the left, who thinks that I'm just doing what they have accused Jimmy Dore of doing, which is to attack lefties and Democrats. And Jimmy Dore, that's a misnomer right there about Jimmy Dore. But some of these shit libs like to spend their free time doing just that. So hold tight just a second here. I'll go ahead and do the final one here. And this is probably my favorite because there's just no one really more reprehensible in D.C. than Mitch McConnell. And I say that because with Mitch McConnell, I mean, he is for every bad policy you can imagine. And he's pretty damn consistent about supporting every bad policy you can imagine. So I am glad that he had his meal at a Cuban restaurant, ruined. So I'll play a little bit of this and then I'll comment some more.
And now screaming for a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Sorry, we meant screaming at Mitch McConnell, who's not having a Happy Meal.
Senator Mitch McConnell and his wife got accosted by another customer who walked up to them, started yelling at him about his politics.
At a Cuban restaurant in Louisville, Kentucky.
You're gonna come for first here? Why don't you get out of here? Why don't you leave the entire country?
Mitch stayed quiet, and we're told before the video starts, the dude screaming at him
Grabbed his doggy bag and threw it out of the restaurant.
Whoa. Leftovers are sacrosanct.
especially a good cubano with the ham and the pickles and the... Anyway, Mitch, just the latest politician following Ted Cruz, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and DHS Chief Kyrsten Nielsen to be confronted during a meal. So, we talked to former NJ Gov Chris Christie about it.
After the doggy bag got thrown out?
Oh, yeah.
He would have lost his mind.
We didn't mention that part.
I think you have to do it in the right forum. If you're out to dinner with your family, you should be left alone. It makes public officials then become hostages inside their own homes.
You want politicians to interact with the public. You know what I want more than them to interact with the public? What do you want? To feel that they're accountable to the public. Then they're not going to go out.
So let's not engage them anymore in conversation. We're past that. Let's have a revolution.
Okay, TMZ does not endorse the physical overthrow of the U.S. government. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, Chris. And R.I.P. Doggy Bag. Don't worry, someone will eat it. Maybe a dog.
I would have to say that might have been my favorite of the three because nobody's more hateful than Mitch McConnell. I mean, if there is not a neocon war that he's not opposed to. There is not a corporatist policy that he doesn't embrace, or a tax cut for the wealthy, or what have you. Anything that's bad for the American people and it's good for corporations and good for special interest right-wing movements, you can depend on good old Mitch McConnell to be for it. And this is my opportunity I love to do an impression of Mitch McConnell. So I wish I had a suit and tie on so I can do this, but hey, I can do it. So this is how but every time I see Mitch McConnell, this is how I view Mitch McConnell. I'm Mitch McConnell. I'm an asshole. That's how I view Mitch McConnell. It's sort of like he's sort of like the late Jesse Helms meets Bob Dole, like a shittier Bob Dole and maybe a slightly less shitty Jesse Helms. If they were combined in one person, it'd be Mitch McConnell. Anyhow, we need more of this. We need more activists, getting into the faces of these politicians, making them feel like absolute crap, making them just regret, having to get up in the morning to go and legislate. And some people be like, no, that's terrible. That's terrible for democracy. No, Kyrsten Sinema, Joe Manchin, and Mitch McConnell are the ones undermining our democracy. They're the ones undermining our democracy. The Build Back Better plan is shit now because of people like Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin doing the bidding of people like Mitch McConnell. And that is my big beef, And the thing about it is, the Republicans, the grassroots of the Republicans, they expect ideological purity from their Republican candidates and office holders. They get that. But the Democrats, the left wing of the Democratic Party, they want consistency of what would be considered ideological purity from their elected counterparts, and elected Democrats just be like, we don't need you. Go away. That's how they do. So I look at this whole situation, and there are people that don't like it, and on the surface it looks unpleasant. It looks really horrible that it has to come down to this. But you know what? This is, kind of in a way what Tea Party people did during the Obama years. It's sort of a left-wing response to this. And so, I embrace it all the way. I just wish that the Justice Democrats could be just as diligent as the Freedom Caucus, the Republican Party in Congress, who fought like hell, and they did so well fighting like hell that they cost John Boehner to retire and to make his life a living hell. And I would have loved to see Justice Democrats do the same thing to Nancy Pelosi, make her life a living hell. And so, anyway, as I said, just watching these 3 videos made my morning. It just, when I saw the Kyrsten Sinema video, I decided to look up Joe Manchin, and I remembered this from Mitch McConnell several months ago. And it just makes up my day. I mean, it just makes my day and all of that. So, anyway, we need more of this kind of activism. It's really pretty damn awesome. So, let me just say that, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree with what I have to say, that's okay. We will have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, to create your own platform, utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will conclude with a little bit of music and a little conversation with people on the chat line. Hold tight here. Let me get everything ready. Here we go. All right. Let me say hello to dirtbag-leftist, and let me say hello to trans Marxists. I hope both of y'all are doing well. Thanks, trans Marxists. My day's going relatively well. I had the last couple of nights off, so, and that sandwich did look good. And thank you for the compliment on the impression. I just accidentally discovered I could do a Mitch McConnell impression, and it humors me. So I'll do it again. I'm Mitch McConnell. I'm an asshole. Dirtbag-leftist. Love the name a lot. I think it's funny. Let's see that. I don't know. Oh, absolutely. So, politicians, in my opinion, are fall guys for the elite lobby groups. Very true. I like the lobbyists to call out as well. Absolutely. In public, too. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I didn't have a Cubana, but I had something kind of close to that a few minutes before I made the video. So, it was just a regular ham and cheese on a hoagie bun. And it was a fresh hoagie bun, and it needed it needed just a little bit of honey mustard, but it was good by itself. So, well, I enjoyed doing this. I'm about ready to take a nap before work in a few hours. So I'm glad to see y'all here on this chat line today, and glad there are people that kind of see the world the way I do. I mean, no two people agree on everything, but it's kind of nice that there is a section on the left that we can all kind of relate. So, and this is the moment where I say to each and every one of you to have a great day, and I am about to nap shortly. So, peace, class struggle, and have a great day.